welcome Nicholas Cage.
Hey.
Well, top of the morning to ye. Hello, Danny.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Tuesday.
We got ourselves a
Tuesday.
Jinjee puss here.
Yeah.
Got ourselves a freaking Jinjee puss for ya.
Hey, good boy.
There we go. Look at that little
Good
chombus.
little chomby womby.
How are you, Danny? It's good to see ya. Anybody else who's lurking, watching, all the people in the morning who's probably Danny. I hope you've been well. Little handsome manzo.
Yeah.
Yeah, when was the last time we streamed? Friday?
Yes.
Sometimes my brain gets forgetful.
We had, we took yesterday off because we both had shit sleeps, like, Sunday night. So I woke up yesterday feeling like shit. He woke up yesterday feeling like shit. And we're like,
Yeah, well, we also had, we wanted to get a bunch of laundry done, and we had to run into town and get stuff, because on Sunday in a small town, everything's virtually closed. I've been out of town since Wednesday. Hopefully, is it for business or pleasure? So you've been feeling like shit? That shit. Yeah, well, for me, like, my physical body, it gets a little effed up with the changing of the seasons. I used to think it was an old person thing to say that. Like, oh, when it rains, me bones hurt. But it's apparently true.
For me, as a woman, Danny, I'm sure you can understand, once a month, I just feel like absolute fucking crap for a few days.
Just for no apparent reason.
I'm sure you understand.
Was supposed to be pleasure, but the festival's a shit show, and a majority of it was canceled, and it was the worst thing ever. Oh no. Do you mind if I ask what festival? Hopefully it wasn't Burning Man.
Once a month, I just want to lie on the ground and not get up. See, you understand, yeah.
And that's when something like cat paralysis comes in handy. When a little chombus, little wompy chombo, lays on your lap all day, all night, while you watch some Dragon Ball GT, not Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah,
We got 3 episodes left.
We'll have some Dragon Ball Z movies once we're done Dragon Ball GT.
Hi, Bracket.
You know, I gotta say, I forget who said it on stream or mentioned in chat the other day about like GT is like big meh.
Big man.
I agree. I really struggled to get into GT. I'm just not.
Yeah, it's different. It's got a different animation style.
Well, no, the animation style is very, 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 very similar. I just
Blue Ridge Rock Festival in Virginia. Trying to.
It was disorganized
did I get
fuckfest. Oh, that sucks.
It seems like that's about Virginia. Let me dip into my
Mountain Mama.
Let me dip into my here.
Take me home.
I'm gonna cyborg Jinjee camera for
Take
you.
me home. I enjoy GT, but they removed the story from canon. Yeah, so I think that's maybe what I'm struggling with is like there's so much like because it's like so not canon. Like it just feels like I'm watching fan fiction. Is the best way I can describe it.
Fanfic.
It feels like I'm watching fan fiction
without the cute parts. Hey guys, I have a meeting in 9 minutes, so popped in to say hello. Well, thank you, Nate. I'm just rocking the breast camera here for Jinjee.
And I'm not gonna lie, Goku really fucking pisses me off in GT.
Well, he's just so...
Maybe it's because it's just like...
He's so immature, and he's...
Like, you
feel
only
bad
care
for...
about yourself and leveling up. You don't really care about your family.
You feel bad for Chi-Chi because she's like...
Oh, he's like, oh no, I'd rather stay a child than go back to being a normal adult because I'm worried about growing old anyway. And it's like,
yeah,
what
but
about
your wife probably doesn't want to go to bed with a child.
Exactly.
And also,
oh, I like Trunks too. Trunks is probably one of my favorites.
Chi-Chi is younger than Goku, and they make her look 15 years older than Bulma.
Younger than Bulma.
Rude.
Bulma is like 9 years older than Goku. And I think Chi-Chi is also younger than Goku, isn't she?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I thought so. Or
Either
close.
way, there's been things about it that I just like. I don't give a shit about Pan. I find Pan super fucking annoying.
The one thing I will say though is that in GT, Chi-Chi has been more physically, like she fight oriented. Which because she was
I appreciate
a fighter.
that. Yeah, she was a fighter.
So it makes sense that they incorporated that, whereas the other one kind of made her seem like as soon as she got married, she was useless.
She just became like a housewife who cooks.
Was she
cleans.
not in the World Martial Arts Championship?
Yeah.
Sorry about this.
She basically like beat the shit out of Goku, and she's like, "You're supposed to marry me."
Yeah.
She's like, "When we were children, you said you promised I'd be your bride."
When we were children. You promised I'd be your bride. And he's like, what does that mean?
I thought that was a food thing.
Yeah. So, as you can tell, we've been watching a lot of Dragon Ball.
It's been our life. It's all we consume at this moment in time. That and, like, the occasional YouTube video.
Yes.
We've been following that Danny Masterson case a little bit.
Yes, indeed we have. Yeah, that's how you get your Jinjee.
We can bring you our surface level opinion on the Danny Masterson case.
Surface level? Oh,
Which,
no.
I mean, it's a pretty easy opinion to have.
You guys need to watch
You're
Way
a piece
of
of
the
shit
House
if you
Husband.
R-word people.
Way of the House Husband. What is this?
Way of the House Husband.
So, let me go wireless here. There we go.
Oh, and this whole fucking Mila Kunis, Ashton Kutcher thing.
Oh, wait. Yeah.
Historically, we support victims. Yeah, historically, but not this time because it like has to do with the dude you worked with.
Yeah, so it's really strange because, like, so for those of you who don't know, Danny Masterson is Hyde from that 70s show, and apparently he's been a Scientologist his whole life. So that, I don't have to say much more.
You don't know who Danny Masterson is?
No, I think Happy Mask is just being a turkey face. Hello, Happy Mask. It's lovely to see you. I am currently rocking Jinjee camera on my head. How are you? Actually,
Oh,
no.
you don't know who?
Oh well, let's.
Happy Mask. If you have you ever watched that '70s show? It was a big famous show back in the early 2000s.
So this is Daniel Masterson.
Yeah, this man played Hyde. He was one of the lead characters.
Yeah.
He's raised in Scientology, which I didn't know that. That's news to me.
Yeah.
But he's been charged. He's been convicted and charged, and will be serving 30 years in prison for
The maximum.
he got the maximum sentence for R-wording. 2 women that he did get accused of. There was at least 5 that came forward, but 2 he actually got convicted of. And he'll be serving at least 30 years before he's eligible for parole. And part of the reason why they threw the book so hard at him is the Scientology was involved in like the cover-up of stuff. At least I think that's partially why they threw the book so like hard at him. Not that I'm like saying, like, well, I agree with it. Good, freaking good. He should go to jail for as long as possible. But like also part of the controversy is right now Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis. It's recently been revealed that they wrote letters to the judge to basically be like, oh, don't judge him so harshly. He's a really good guy who showed up to work every day, and he like prevented me from ever being addicted to drugs.
There is the actual letters. They weren't quite. They were basically written in a way to say if you allow him to go to jail, having a daughter without a father is as big a crime.
Yeah, which like I'm sorry. What's probably best for his daughter
also
is for her to not grow up with a father who is a convicted R-word.
Yeah.
R-worder.
So Danny Masterson, that happened in the Church of Scientology. The women that he assaulted, they were Scientologists as well, right?
Yeah.
And so because the Church of Scientology is the Church of Scientology, they tried their best to bury it, right? And
like they love to do that shit.
And then the oddest aspect to it, not the oddest, but one thing that's really strange. So Happy Mask indicated, did we watch Patrick CC on YouTube?
Yes, we did
watch it. So Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, they actually you
explained the whole 15-minute video in 3 minutes.
Yeah, Ashton Kutcher is apparently took most of the money that he made and invested it in the Silicon Valley sphere, the techno sphere.
Specifically a company that helps identify children being sexually trafficked.
Yeah, so it's like it's in a whole bunch of criminal agencies. It's like it helps identify, like Krissy said, people who have been sex trafficked or are the criminals involved somehow, and it helps catch people. But yet he wrote a letter to the judge asking for leniency
in the prosecution of Danny Masterson.
Yeah.
And what just pisses so many people off about their video where they're apologizing for these letters is they're like so like dead robotic. And the one line that really pisses me off is when they're like, historically, we support the victims. And it's like, historically? So in this situation, because it's a dude and he's a really cool, nice dude, you don't support the victims?
Yeah, I'm looking for, where is it here?
Oh, and then there's also the whole situation. So Ashton Kutcher, way back in the day, was dating this chick who got murdered. And so one of the women who came forward accusing Danny Masterson of being R-worded, but her case didn't go through, she alleged to the fact that she heard a conversation between Danny Masterson and Ashton Kutcher, where Ashton Kutcher showed up at this chick's house looked through the window, saw that she was murdered, and Danny Masterson was basically like, pretend you didn't see anything and get the fuck out of there.
So the internet has taken this one and kind of, I mean, you're left to try and read between the lines, and unfortunately in a world of, you know, conspiracies, that can be God only knows what. So this person that posted this is, or Krissy Bixler, is the sister of the person that was killed by this serial killer that Ashton was going to meet. So what this person wrote was, "Dear Ashton, I know the secrets your role model, who is Danny Masterson, because that's what he wrote in the letter.
Yeah, he was a role model for me, and if it wasn't for him, I would have been on the streets addicted to drugs."
And he, "I know the secrets your role model keeps for you, ones that would end you. Did you forget I was there? You were on the speakerphone. You were on speakerphone that night you called Danny on February 21st, 2001. I heard everything. I heard the plan. In my opinion, you're just as sick as your mentor." So February 21st, 2021.
When his girlfriend at the time was murdered.
Yeah, so it says, "Dear Mila, I pray you begin to process what you experienced as a child on that set. Your old interviews are very telling. I encourage everyone to watch them and decide for yourself what you hear and see. Do so before they get scrubbed from the internet. I also know what happened in Toronto and after. Question: if that's what you view as normal relationship with a big brother figure, then I feel very sad for you, and I hope you consider getting into therapy. You all must forget I was there the whole time. Those first 5 years of that 70s show, I remember everything."
Sorry, Phil, we just hadn't gotten around to reading your comment. There's a vigilante group based in Manchester who target people who chat up who they think is underage and try to meet them. One time it was a friend of mine who was caught. No friend of mine now. Holy shit, yeah. Like, so they basically kind of like,
well,
what's that, to catch a predator?
Yeah, there's actually a big thing about that right now. There's people who have gotten off of charges because that's how
it's illegal kind of to set people up.
Yeah,
like that.
You can't. It's entrapment,
like, depending where you are,
whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a bit disorienting.
Yeah, sorry. Jinjee's sleeping. No more Jinjee for now. But yeah, so that, obviously reading that tweet or whatever, it is...
That it's okay when cops do it. Well, yeah, they're doing it legally.
It's very ominous what most of that, what I just read could mean, right? Like, you can draw, like, he was there... He did it, but what people have most concluded is the most likely scenario is like Krissy said. He's seen what, because when he phoned the police the next morning, he said
that he saw spilt wine on the carpet.
Yeah, we saw spilt wine on the carpet, so I left because I thought she was asleep. Well, people assume that he's seen blood, and he phoned and said, "What the fuck do I do?" Yeah. And they said...
Just act like you saw nothing and leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I guess it's, I don't know, nothing that specifically says, like, I don't know where we seen, must have been in one of the videos we watched where they read through the actual letter. But, yeah, some of the things that were most disturbing, like the way they put it, I found disturbing. Is like, he was a role model. We're not trying to re-traumatize the victims.
Mm-hmm. I like what Christina Ricci said about this whole thing. Like, sometimes somebody might be a really cool guy, but in private, they're an abuser. And just because you know them as a really cool guy doesn't forgive what they're doing to other people in private.
Yeah. That video that Happy Mask is mentioning, that Patrick CC one, it also goes into Ashton Kutcher's odd past, where he actually has like third-degree burglary charges.
Yeah.
He basically got into acting because he got into modeling.
Well, a lot of people get into acting because they got into modeling.
Yeah, he's basically talked about when what's her name was young. he said Lizzie McGuire. Is that her name? What's her real name?
It was on Punked. Hillary Duff.
Meeting wasn't her real name.
He was talking about how her and the Olsen twins are like, you're excited for when they turn 18.
Yeah, and at where that becomes correlative is that Mila Kunis was young. She was underage on that 70s show where they were like, I'm not gonna, I don't know for sure. She hasn't said.
I mean, there is some of this though. Like, it is a lot easier to look on the past and judge it from the perspective of the present. And I'm not forgiving any of this stuff, but a lot of that was just kind of part of the cultural milieu at the time. And like I said, I'm not trying to apologize for it. It just was a lot more normal making those kind of jokes.
It was less, if people were offended, it wasn't brought to the surface as much.
I think it was, and I hate to say it, at the time kind of meant to be a compliment to how hot the young woman was.
Yeah, and it's just a very odd way to go about saying something like that. But people, humanity, socially grow and evolve.
When they because they had a scene where they had to kiss, and like she was 14 and he was 19, and Danny Masterson said to Ashton Kutcher, "I bet you $10 to French kiss her or whatever."
Yeah,
and she said that she was like 14 and she was just like a scared little 14-year-old girl. So
yeah, so there is a lot of things that. I mean,
she had to kiss the whole cast.
Yeah, and her parents weren't thrilled that she was
But I do, like, at the same time, like, I'm not blaming her. She did audition for the role underage for what they wanted.
Yeah, the problem is someone else in her life should have said, no.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, you can't have this role.
Yeah.
Come back in a couple years and
like, because it's well documented that, like, she went in and auditioned for it when she was 14, and they asked her, "Are you 17?" And she said, "Soon," without, like, implying, like, soon would be 5 years from then. Yeah, someone should have been the adult. Absolutely. They allowed a young girl to get cast in a position that she shouldn't have been cast in. And I'm certain they found it out shortly after casting her, because I'm assuming you'd have to fill out some sort of paperwork that you would put your birth date on. And at some point, somebody would be like, "Wait, why are you 5 years younger than we thought you were?"
Yeah. And yeah, Happy Mask indicates that she was basically like every other child star.
Yeah.
Her parents were living
off of her money.
Yeah, the life of Riley off of their. Is that it? Where does it? It's just a weird saying.
I don't know.
They were, they were living well off of their kids, and now at least a lot of states I think are starting to implement a thing where basically the kid, if a fund isn't set up for the child earning money on, say, social media or TikTok or whatever, they can sue at an older age. Which makes sense to me, because I don't know. There's no track record that says most parents do a great job with really rich kids. You know what I mean?
Well, look at, like, I think Macaulay Culkin. Didn't he divorce his parents? I think.
It's messed up. The thing about this whole thing that is so strange is, like I said, the Danny Masterson hidden Scientology crimes thing, it unfortunately almost seems like there's probably 1,000 more of these.
Oh, for sure.
And they just aren't as famous as
what the
Danny
fuck's happened
Masterson.
to Miscavige's wife? She just disappeared off the face of the planet. Shelley Miscavige. Like, there's so, like, Scientology, like,
so we know that, like, that is less. If I found out that this stuff is happening, if I read tomorrow there was 10 hidden murders in the Church of Scientology, I'd go, yeah, probably. But when you have the largest, where you were speaking in front of, like, the Supreme Court about child trafficking and the horrors of what you have seen while tagging along with FBI officers, having billions of dollars invested into something for the greater good, and then someone's family goes, "Hey, that guy you worked with raped some people. Can you write a letter from how you remember him back then? And so that he might get leniency, and they go, okay.
I think what might be more beneficial for his daughter is to grow up understanding how her dad is a massive fucking piece of shit, and to never let men treat women like that.
Yeah.
And I think that'll be more empowering for her than to, but she needs a father figure in her life.
It'll be interesting if, like, the child is being raised in Scientology, if there's, like, they do those excommunications and stuff like that. Like,
Scientology is so,
But it seems like Bracken has got it figured out. They got Abby all set up with some accounts.
There you go.
I know my siblings did that for their kids. So, like, when it's like they have every toy and they don't need more toys, you just give them
university money.
Yeah, give them some money to go into the bank account type thing.
I mean, let's face it, by the time they go to university, it'll probably be at least like $250,000 to get a BA.
It should hopefully either be free or $1 million. Yeah. One of the two. Eventually it's going to be that, like, Republic of Plato where they just start plucking kids and being like, you are going to be raised as a water engineer. You are going to be raised as a carpenter. And they just boop, 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 because it's the only way to assure that you have enough drones to fill the slots. Fill the slots.
Yeah, kid needs a loving family, but family doesn't need to be blood related. Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can find lots of other good role models to be around your children that don't like R-word people.
Absolutely. Everyone's surprised when celebrities come out to be weird, but, like, Ashton Kutcher was, like, hobnobbing with, like, Bill Gates and shit like that, right? With his technology. Like, he invested in Airbnb, and there's a couple other things. So we know Bill Gates was hanging out with Epstein. We know that there's rich people do weird shit.
Yeah.
The fact that they have this thing for victims of sexual assault and then go on and write a letter that's like, this man not raising his daughter is equal of a crime is just it blows my mind. How can the two things correlate with each other, right? So the one thing I'll say is I just hope the actors I really like don't come out to be fucking weirdos, but I unfortunately can't be surprised if they do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
as long as Weird Al stays good,
Yeah, as long as we don't find out Weird Al is actually weird.
Yeah. Weird Al is weird in name only.
Only in name. But something that reminded me of was, Ashton Kutcher peering through the windows. Like, oh my God, look at that wine stain.
Yeah.
Imagine if that wine stain was caused by a giant river of wine flowing through the streets of a Portuguese town after a distillery tank bursted.
Danny, I've heard some stuff about Jim Carrey.
Look at this. That is wine. What you can't see is Danny's at the bottom of the street filling up barrels.
Danny, do you remember a few years ago when his ex-girlfriend passed away? She, I believe, unalived herself from pills. And there's a lot of accusations flying towards Jim Carrey that he had given her STDs and treated her very poorly in their relationship and stuff.
But he, I know that. So he came out. I can't believe it's still going. This is a fucking whole minute.
That is so much fucking money.
That's
literally just going down the street right now. Like, I would be so upset if I were like the winery owner. I'd be like, this is millions of dollars of wine.
Can you have insurance on that? Oh, actually, it sucks your brother isn't here. He works at a brewery. Yeah. He probably would have been like, yeah, everyone's been laid off.
He says that sometimes he just listens without saying anything. So he might be listening.
But with the Jim Carrey thing, I know that Jim Carrey has kind of, I think he's a little bit more spiritual.
Yeah.
I remember when fucking scrotum head. Stroke the Fuzzy Wall. Fucking Russell Brand.
Yeah.
How so? At the same time, they were both kind of doing they're podcasting positive things and spirituality and shit. I haven't heard much about Jim Carrey since that, but obviously Russell Brand's brain has been completely lobotomized by a frozen
Jesus
icicle
Christ.
of shit.
I don't know what the fuck happened to Russell Brand. Prior COVID, I occasionally listened to him. He was very hippy dippy, left wing, pro, social programs, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then at some point, he just went off the fucking deep end and now just loves to suck right wing cock. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
He took a hit of fucking.
Oh, they're some of the nicest people I've ever met.
He was smoking meth with Trump or something, but he's on Rumble now or something, interviewing fucking Ben Shapiro type people. And it's how do you you can't fundamentally believe in social programs and community betterment and all of that stuff and completely switch to the other side. Yeah. How do you fundamentally believe both things at once? How does that happen? It's kind of Krissy had seen a video. I apparently fell asleep, but she showed it again to me yesterday about Marcus Aurelius, the last great Roman emperor.
Was it just about how to be who you are?
Yeah, well, it was kind of about the 5 fundamental things he wrote down about that he in meditation or whatever. And one of them is to never just say, I believe this because so-and-so told me that's the truth. You should strive to develop your own belief and understanding of it.
Based off what you've experienced.
Based off of what you've experienced. And to think of how many people just spew insane shit to be famous now.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, don't try doing something at the expense of just for people trying to like you. Yeah, at the expense of your own, what's the word? A moralistic value.
I think it says your potential in what we watched, but the potential it's referring to is your human potential, right? Don't sacrifice your morals and value for
other people.
I think it describes it as snacks or treats type thing. Like quick instant gratification type stuff. Don't these fucking right-wing idiots talking about how 9/11 was so terrible, how could this happen? Meanwhile, they espouse some of the same ideals as the Taliban in a sense of what a wife should be.
Like Mark says about Russell Brand, he's privileged enough to put freedom before pragmatic well-being of common people. He's insulated from the regular world, which typically puts one in a privileged frame of mind. Yeah, absolutely. Because he came from a background of being somebody who was addicted to drugs and had to really work through shit. And now he's just been rich for too long, living comfortably. And that's what really causes issue, I think, a lot with society is we're too comfortable. And I don't mean that in a regressive sort of way, but we do have if you think of our lives in comparison to medieval serfs, we have so many luxuries. The fact that I, even living in a 10-foot by 10-foot shed, can just go have a hot shower whenever I want with clean running water.
Well, ours is a little different.
Well, I mean, yeah, but
absolutely. I've always said, well, it's like that thing where your brain is meant to keep you alive, not happy. Yeah. And thusly, it's always looking it's always on guard. It's always alert. It's always like Carl, when he comes for food. Even though he's getting food, he cannot stop looking around because
there's lots of coyotes in the area.
And even though we live in a world now where we're not subjected to being eaten by panthers as often, our brain is looking for those panthers. And those panthers have become things on our phone or things on our TV. Mm-hmm. And they've become like an existential thing that we can't actually solve. So it's as often. Yeah, so it's when you have too many problems that are not problems you can solve, I think the helplessness sets in. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And you start grasping at straws. But if most of your problems are things that can be corrected with, I don't know, physical action, it's a little easier to categorize your problems, I guess. Luckily, your brain can only worry about so much. So try and give it easy things to worry about, like food, water, shelter.
Yeah.
But yeah, the big thing is even with that, if you just worry about the main things, you will find that it's a lot easier without caring what others think of your situation.
Yeah.
Because the one thing that we know is everyone's a little full of shit. You can never believe all of the things, because they'll eventually do an apology on a ukulele. I'm just kidding. But yeah, just...
I was like, I don't know the song, but it's because you were making it up. That's why.
Yeah. You know, you can make things up. Sometimes they're entertaining. You know, sometimes it's just that you're an egomaniac and you're trying to have as many children as humanly possible. You're a birther. You're a psychopath. And you name your kids things that average people wouldn't understand.
Like Technomechanicus.
Elon Musk.
A third love child.
A third love child.
I'm assuming surrogate. The second was a surrogate.
Yeah, I will say, I can pronounce this one. Technomechanicus.
I can pronounce this one too.
Honestly, when I was like 6 years old, I think I remember saying, I wish my name was something like Technomechanicus. I wish my parents called me Gladiator Slap Face. I don't know. Like you hear about those guys that are firefighters named Les McBurney, and
I'm just so surprised she agreed to have a third child with him, because like they've broken up, right? Yeah. So, and like I know that she's also like, because she's questioned him about his problematic transgender stance. And like he explained it away to her in a way that she's like, oh, he's just asking questions. Yeah. But the fact that she's clearly had like some level of like stepping back and maybe at like brief moments of realization of what a fucking dickwad he was. But like, no, I'm still gonna have a third child with you via surrogacy. I just don't get it. I don't. But yes, the name is fucking cool. Technomechanicus. That is a sweet fucking name.
So this one, aside from the other ones, was chosen to be private. And he has at least 10 kids with 3 different women. Some of them have excommunicated from him because he's a dirtbag. Unfortunately, the richest dirtbag, I think, in the world still. But there's this biography that's come out. We kind of talked about it where I remember I was saying I had read something that he specifically disabled these drones from the Ukraine offensive from attacking Russia. Well, this biography that this Walter Isaacson has put out has all of this dirt, including this third child thing. So Walter Isaacson, from what I understand, was an ex-business partner of Musk. But Elon Musk came out and said, oh, well, no, we didn't disable those drones. There was no internet there to begin with. Which means that the situation has validity, right? Which means that Technomechanicus must live. So
I feel like so the other 2 children they referred to X and Y. They should call them Android 17 and Android 18. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah, might as well. They might as well at this
Android
point.
17 and 18.
So this
and Technomechanicus.
This person or
X.
So what they go by Exa Dark.
So the first one is XAEXA. That's the first one. The first child goes by X. The second child is Exa Dark Side Rail Musk, who goes by Y. And then the newest child...
Dark, was this? How do you say this?
Side Rail.
Well, I thought that's what that was, but I was
Side Rail?
No one would name their child Side Rail, would they?
It'd be like Side Rail. Like, think of like weird Elvis shit. Side Rail.
Their relationship is fluid, which means they're both...
Monorail.
Yeah.
Monorail.
I'm going to splatter paint on a canvas, and that's my kid's name. I actually think, well, actually, the funny thing is they are putting in laws that you can't have...
Do this kind of shit?
Yeah, you can't make your child's name society's problem.
Well, I think they had to change X's name because it had numbers and shit in it. And basically, like, I think the California law was like, this is an unacceptable name. So they did have to change it from what it originally was. Because that is pronounced, that X name, it has a... They pronounce it somehow. I don't fucking know. These people are weird. I don't know. They're beyond my level of thinking, Evan.
Yeah.
Grimes is an artist.
Le artista. This is interesting. So this guy, Walter Isaacson, who wrote this biography, interviewed Musk's former wives, Justine Musk, Tallulah Riley, and interviewed Siobhan Zillis, the Neuralink manager, whom he had 2 children.
So Tallulah Riley has also just gotten engaged to oh fuck, I can't remember his name. He's in Game of Thrones and he plays like the young green boy.
The young
Him.
What?
Yeah. And they're closer, way closer. He's a little bit younger than her, but they're way closer in age than she ever was to Musk.
He's that kid. He looks like he's the one who looks like a grown-up child.
Yes.
This guy.
Yeah, and they're engaged now.
Crazy.
Why can't I think of his name? The man child.
I don't think he has a name actually. Thomas Brody Sangster. Philip Talkington, great to see you both. Missed you all yesterday. Yeah, we're doing a bit better today. More energetic, I guess. Slept a little better. That's generally the medication. I mean, they
are a good-looking couple.
They kind of look
similar. They're.
I think the more you see people beside each other, the more they look similar. Yeah. This is.
But yeah, good for them. That's Musk's ex.
But yeah, I thought that was interesting here that so Neuralink is that thing they were putting in monkeys' brains that made monkeys kill themselves.
Yeah.
I didn't know that he was also schwitzing with her, making the babies. Jesus Christ. He looks 12.
He does. Absolutely. He's a man child in that he'll never look fully grown up.
Hard.
Maybe if he grows facial hair. But can he grow facial hair? I don't know.
I'm going to go with that's a negatory.
Like, my sweet beloved brother. The man is in his 40s. He can't really grow facial hair.
You don't.
Sorry, Mark.
You can't do that to people.
You know that's true, though, Mark.
You can't do that. You can't talk about Technomechanicus like that.
Mark wishes his name was Technomechanicus.
Mark is a little Technomechanicus.
Yeah, he'll always be the kid from Love Actually. Absolutely.
Also, I do believe, what is X in Roman numerals?
10.
The odd thing is this is
Mark, you don't grow facial hair.
His 10th child, and he didn't name it X. Right?
Yeah.
That's kind of fucking weird.
He fucked that up.
He named it Technomechanicus, which is sweet. We have agreed to this. However, because it's Elon Musk's kid, I can't fully deal with it.
Do you need some emotional support?
I think I need some emotional support.
Oh, well, I know where you can get some emotional support.
Apparently OnlyFans.
Yeah.
So this can't remember, it says her name. Fan Pei Kyung. Emotional support. OnlyFans model claims the Ukraine tried to have her smuggle weapons. An OnlyFans and Instagram model has offered her services as an emotional support stripper to Ukrainian soldiers after being asked to smuggle weapons by the country at war with Russia.
Like up her vagine? Remember that video I showed you of the man the other day?
Plastic explosives.
He put his that gun in his pants and he shot his dick or his groin?
Yeah, he was like, yeah, I'm just going to load my Glock semi.
I'm going to bend over to grab this thing.
He was like, call the cops.
Yeah.
Call the cops.
Call an ambulance.
Call an ambulance. My dad cut my dick off.
My pee-pee.
My pee-pee because it was rotten. Jinjee, no, not your pee-pee. It's not rotten.
No.
Oh, no.
No.
Cut the pee-pee. But yeah, so they first launched their OnlyFans to help raise money for her humanitarian work in the Ukraine, but she provides a little bit more than monetary
Humanitarian work.
She's an emotional support stripper. So, I would imagine there is several people in the world that would love their therapist to write them a prescription for emotional support strippers. There'd just be thunder from down under in Vegas would just be packed. But yeah, apparently, even though the war was initiated over a year ago, when the war was initiated, this model decided that that's how they would raise money for the Ukraine and offer free content exclusively to the Ukrainian soldiers and volunteers. So, like, shouldn't they be focusing on war and not masturbating? I would think. I don't know. To shoot a gun when you have carpal tunnel.
I mean, you do need some sort of release. Like, if you think about, I mean, every other war that I'm aware of, there were comfort women of sorts. Like, that's why there's
or the closest male with a wig.
Yeah.
However, in her most recent endeavors, she claimed the mafia asked her to smuggle arms across the border. And she said, the mafia asked me to smuggle arms for them. I asked how much. The Ukrainian psych doctor stood over me with his team and made me handwrite a letter swearing that I will never say anything bad that happened.
Oh, okay.
She also stated on her Instagram, I'm the sexy girl in the Ukraine who wants to volunteer and will probably put out.
Okay.
Interesting.
I mean, at least she's honest about it. That's how we won the damn war, son.
That's how we won the damn war. Remember the Alamo. But yeah, she didn't necessarily say what it was, if it was plastic explosives in her booty or what. Apparently, I'm assuming she didn't do it. I assume this whole article is kind of like a piece to like get people to her OnlyFans type of thing. I don't know. Maybe she can do more good for the Ukrainians. I hear they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Hopefully the microphone didn't pick that up.
She's spreading peace with her vagine.
I mean, honestly, is there any other way to do it?
I mean, it's like the old saying, bombing for peace is like fucking for virginity, right? So she's just fucking for peace.
I mean, who isn't though, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. It all sounds a little exhausting to me. I think if I was to decide I could possibly partake in a competition, it would be laying down. It would be the laziest person in the world.
I don't know if fucking for peace is a saying, but there is like
That's what the bonobos do.
There's an old sign of like this lady who's at like a protest for, I think it's the war in Vietnam. And she's holding the sign that says bombing for peace is like fucking for virginity. And so that, I like to say fucking for peace.
Yeah, I mean, the bonobo monkeys, we learned that when the males are all jazzed up and they need to release, sometimes they're just like, hey bro, let me give you a hand. So they're helping rid the stress of war by that. Maybe a Gen X thing. But yeah, the lying down contest enters its 20th day as of September 7th.
Boomers can't have it. But Mark, I'm pretty sure it was a boomer holding that sign because, like I said, it was at a protest for the war in Vietnam. So it would have had to have been a boomer that made that saying. Boomers used to be fucking cool, and then I don't know.
And then
what
someone
happened.
mentioned having to have their tax money go towards others, and they went, no, not my money. They all thought they watched too much Dawn or whatever that duck was that swam in the gold coin.
Basically, the boomers got too comfortable having really nice houses and cushy jobs, and then they didn't want us to inherit it because they refused to retire.
Well, and they got jealous.
Yeah.
They weren't like that. Like, you know, it used to be like, I hope my child moves to the city and gets a nice house out of the farmhouse. And now they're like, my kid's not allowed to have nicer shit than me.
Well, I don't have $1 million in my retirement account yet. I can't retire and let a young person have my job. It's like, okay, so like one thing that I bitch about a lot, this will always be something that will grind my gears probably till the end of my life. I really wanted to work in archives. But by the time I was done getting my degree in history, I was fucking burnt out of school. I was just done. But what pisses me off immensely is everyone who works at the archives currently, that's like 45 plus, has maybe a bachelor's in history, maybe a high school diploma. Nothing beyond that. But for me to work in archives, I would have had to go on and do a master's studies in archival studies. Why do I have to go do a fucking master's degree when these people barely have a fucking high school diploma to do the exact same fucking job? That's what pisses me off. That's what makes me really fucking angry about life.
Yeah, it's strange. The world is moving in a weird way. It'll be interesting to see how it evolves with AI and stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's an interesting world. It's an interesting world. It's so interesting that sometimes we just have competitions to lay down. I love being a millennial. It sounds cooler. Yeah, that's I think what we are.
We're millennials.
There's all these cuspy thingies, but 7 competitors lying down on mats are vying for the coveted title of the laziest citizen of Brezna, Montenegro.
I think my brother is Gen X, isn't he?
I don't know.
I think, yeah, Mark, you're Gen X.
After lying down record of 117 hours was set at last year's contest in the resort village of Brezna. But as this year's competition entered the 20th day on Thursday, the remaining contestants said they were determined to keep going. How do you, do they go to the bathroom?
Yeah, because, I mean, I'm not going to piss and shit.
I don't even know if physically
they have to have
able.
exemptions for being, going pee.
Well, Mr. Dan, good to see you, buddy boy. I hope you're doing well and the new pooch is keeping you on your toes. All of us feel good. Excellent. There's no health problems. Probably bed sores. They are pampering us. All we have to do is remain lying down, said the 2021 champion, Dubraka Ask. Sorry. The contest was launched in the tiny Adriatic,
yeah.
Country.
12
years ago to mock a popular myth that labels Montenegrins as lazy. That's funny. She said the 7 remaining contestants from a starting field of 21 have been lying down for 463 hours. Can you even
they're allowed to have 10 minutes every 8 hours to go to the toilet. I can't wait 8 hours.
They have catheters for sure.
You have to have a catheter. There's no way you can go 8 hours without...
That's insane.
No.
I mean,
no.
Maybe urinate. No.
Can you roll? Can I, I'm not supposed to stand.
So competitors can they can use cell phones and laptops, most obvi. A first-time contestant from the northern town of Mujgogvik said he was confident of victory and picking up an €1,000 prize. We have everything we need here. Company's fantastic. Time goes by quickly. That's like 20 days. I can do that standing on my head while laying on my back. I couldn't. They will be wearing diapers. That's a good point. This guy...
No.
This guy looks like he's wearing a diaper, maybe.
That aspect, I could not deal with it. Could not.
This person's got, they fucking moved in.
Also, sometimes I take longer than 10 minutes on the toilet.
Piss your pants, playa. You ain't cool unless.
I'm sorry, that has nothing to do with not being lazy.
Piss your knickers.
Sometimes I'm I sit on the toilet for like 20 minutes, and that has everything to do with laziness.
Yeah, but sometimes the time gets exacerbated because you can't stand up because your legs are numb.
Maybe I become like, I suffer from time blindness when I'm on the toilet.
Just piss your chonies.
You know, the ADHD time blindness sets in, and I just start doom scrolling on Facebook or like playing a good game of solitaire or two on my phone.
Good
and then
old
I suffer
solitaire.
from time blindness and laziness, and I sit on the toilet till my legs go numb, and then you stand up and you're like everywhere because
You know,
like
you've
both.
been on the can too long when your legs go numb. I wrote a 2-page email to my lawyer on the show the other
Exactly.
day.
I do some of my best top-notch thinking sitting on the toilet.
Pretty much all of our thumbnails are made on the toilet. But
just it flows out of me, both physically and mentally.
yeah. Could you imagine digging in your backyard and finding an 82-foot long dinosaur?
I wonder how far away this was from the wine incident.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on in Portugal, but crazy shit. While doing renovations on his property, a Portuguese man stumbled upon a fossilized sauropod that might be the largest dinosaur skeleton ever found in Europe. It was a sauropod.
Huh.
Oh, it's like a brontosaurus? Is that... when I was a kid, I used to look at dinosaur stuff all the time, and I wondered how Jesus could ride them.
Well, I
Just
mean,
kidding.
especially considering the Earth is only 5,000 years old.
Joking.
I'm
Brachiosaurus.
joking, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's joking.
I do not believe
Sauropod dinosaur unearthed in China. So, okay, it's like a big, like a giraffe with lizard body. So, yeah, in 2017, while carrying out construction work on his property in central Portugal, they noticed several fragments of fossilized bone. He called the scientific authorities... Sorry, I hit the space bar. And last month, they unearthed several important skeletal elements of a beast that may have been 25 meters long, or 82 feet. One of the biggest specimens found in Europe, other than in Mr. Levity's pants. I'm just kidding.
Like their necks have giraffe necks.
Yeah.
They do giraffe
I think
neck fights.
sauropod is a generic type of dinosaur. Explain.
Look how sweet he's being.
Oh, sweet boy. Hold hands.
Yeah. He likes to just sometimes reach out and touch you. Reach out and touch me.
Lean on me. Couldn't think of a hand-holding song.
I like the reach out and touch me.
I couldn't remember what song it was from. Is that Neil Diamond?
No. It's like a heavier song. Reach out and touch me. I can't, that's all I can fucking remember. Mark, I think you know it.
Yeah, Mark, reach out
Mark.
and touch me. Touch the screen and touch each other at the same time.
Can you just Google reach out and touch me lyrics? Because now I need to know. Sorry, I'm having
I just thought
an
this
ADHD moment.
was interesting in a matter of what you might find in your backyard.
Your own personal Jesus. Personal Jesus. Reach out and touch me. That's it. Personal Jesus.
I don't know if I know that song.
You don't know the song Personal
Ow, my
Jesus?
ear holes.
By Depeche Mode.
I don't even know what word that is.
Depeche Mode. Reach out and touch me. Your own
Nothing you're saying makes sense to
personal
me right now.
Jesus.
Oh, maybe you did play that for me.
Reach out and touch me. I'm really disappointed right now.
I don't know what a Depeche Mode is. You know what? It's not that big of a crime. You don't sentence me to jail for 12,000
We
years.
spin it almost every goth night.
Sure. I didn't commit a crime.
You just don't know Depeche Mode?
Yeah, it's not like I stole $2 billion.
That's when you go full Depeche Mode.
It's not like I stole $2 billion and was sentenced to 12,000 years in jail. I just thought that this was kind of crazy.
I think it's so funny to sentence people to such long sentences like that.
This Turkish crypto exchange called Thodex, over the last year or so, left over more than 400,000 people without access to their combined $2 billion in funds. The founder was arrested in Albania in 2022. So at this point, was there any crypto stuff that didn't turn into a scam? I assume Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Bitcoin, yeah, they're the only like mildly
Bitcoin and Ethereum. Yeah. Well, no, sorry, those are just currencies. These Turkish exchanges, or these exchanges, were like the bank accepting crypto for actual money. So yeah, all of it wasn't even necessarily the coins that screwed people over. Those are the NFTs. It's the thing that you needed to do to make them functional, or like useful in any sense, like a pawn shop to trade shit for money.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, Happy Mass, good job.
Congratulations.
Hopefully it's something that you like. Hopefully it's not at Thodex. 12,000 years. What would you do in jail for 12,000 years?
This makes me wonder if on some weird conspiracy theory level that jails have developed a technology to imprison your soul once you die. Because that's the only way you can exact a whole like fucking 12,000 year sentence. Or these like sentences in the States when they like sentence somebody to like 200 years for like
dispensary
murdering a bunch of people. I mean, not that I disagree with it, but I mean, the most logical sentence you could give someone is the rest of your natural life. Like, to say that, like, you're going to give somebody a 12,000 year sentence, like, have you developed a technology to imprison people's souls past their, like, natural lifespan? Yeah. I don't know. Jinjee if you have, then yes, absolutely.
Jinjee
sure,
has smush.
Do that.
Jinjee got smush. Look at Jinjee smushed.
Oh, he got a job at a dispensary.
Yeah, nice. Not a bad way to get those conservative life sentences. If you're conservative, you get a life sentence. So, this was, there's only 2 other articles I found that were kind of interesting. Just kind of a nice, I wouldn't necessarily say, it's not bad news to kind of, to play out. It's interesting news. So if you're an electrician and or not an electrician, either way, don't touch 14,000 volts of electricity.
Trigger warning, if you do not like pictures of eyeballs, you're not going to like this next section.
They like eyeballs.
Okay. I'm just letting people know. I knew a girl in university who was so grossed out by eyeballs.
I know for a fact they like eyeballs because they always wanted me to put on the audio nipple eyes. Fucking fly. It's fly season.
Yeah, fall time is fly season and it's really annoying.
You're not my dad. Did I not make that a command? Is it just nip? I thought it was nips. Maybe it's eyes.
Nipples have eyes. I can sing my song about nipple eyes.
So, nipple eyes that have taken in approximately 14,000 volts will connect the wires of your cataracts and give you a new looking ball.
Yeah.
I will start by saying the gentleman who received this shock is alive.
And he can see?
And he can see. It's just a little blurry, apparently. So, a man has been left with stars in his eyes, not from like a Disney cartoon or like bonked by a coyote on the head, but he was working on an electrical work and his shoulders touched a live wire that sent 14,000 volts, normally enough to kill a man, through their body. Now,
Philip, I can't watch eye stuff. I'll see you soon. Like I said, some people get triggered by eye shit.
No, listen. Don't go anywhere, Philip. Just close your eyes and
close your eyes and
listen.
Don't look. Yeah.
The unnamed man only went to get himself checked out 1 month later, complaining of blurred vision. And this is when the doctors noticed the star-shaped patterns in his eyes. So did this man wear sunglasses for a month and not a single person? Not a single person
just
was
scroll
like,
past the eyeball.
okay, yeah. I can't.
Oh,
It's
you
everywhere.
can't scroll past the eyeball.
This is so the electric shock passed through the man's optic nerve and left star-shaped cataracts in his eyes. 1 month later, he sought medical attention because his vision was blurry, and 3 months he underwent surgery to remove the cataracts. Normally, the surgery is enough to remove or to restore sight lost due to cataracts. However, he took too much damage, and his vision is severely impaired and blurred, but he can still see. But basically what they said is the optic nerve is similar to any wire that conducts electricity. In this case, the extreme current and voltage that passed through this important natural wire caused damage to the optic nerve itself. So
Mark and Happy Mask are just nerding out. Like, can I have eyeballs like that?
yeah, so this is actually a thing known as a stellate cataract. So I mean, it would be better if you guys just went and bought like fake contacts or whatever to look like that guy from Limp Bizkit with the big pupils. Remember that dude?
Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, Limp Bizkit, big pupil man.
The eyeballs are gone now, Philip.
Yeah.
What's the bandwidth on the human nervous system?
Yeah.
I mean, we are like a computer that like
You're
if you think
spot-
of us like a cup, and you is like the juice. So your body is the cup that holds the juice
guy.
that makes you you.
This guy had always worn those big black pupil ones, so he
Oh.
looked crazy. The other
Puts back posted.
oh no, Limp Bizkit. Limp Bizkit has Break Stuff, and Break Stuff is one of the biggest pump up songs ever. 'Cause I'll break your fucking face tonight. Give me something to break. Not don't break things.
No.
You guys, Jinjee's eye boogers are ready to show you something that I mean, this was just neat. I thought Agnote might be here, our friend from New Zealand. But a prehistoric bird once thought to be extinct returns to the New Zealand wild. I thought it was a pretty cool looking.
It looks a little bit like the kiwi.
So it's called the Tahaki bird. Tahaki bird.
Oh.
In a massive and historic conservation success story, 18 Tahaki birds, Takahi birds,
Takahi? They look cute.
have been released into the wilds from the nature reserve on Lake Wakatipu. Isn't that bird from Ice Age? Maybe.
I don't
Or
know.
you're thinking dodos.
They look real.
So they're
bad.
hopefully they are going to release several more in October and then another 10 more
Are they
after that.
related to parrots?
They look dumb nice colors though. They were so this iridescent flightless bird is a symbol of New Zealand's unique prehistoric past, but it evolved on an island without mammals, and with their invasive introduction may have been the bird's ultimate demise.
Cats.
Yeah.
The humble house cat.
Apparently, in the Second World War, conservationists have been ensuring their survival by caring for their eggs and protecting them from stoats, ferrets, and rats. Crazy. A rare pair of chicks, exotic and endangered.
Mark says, "Oh my god, I tried scrolling up on your guy's screen. I'm a boomer now." No, let me read that.
Mai, piki mai, ki tō koutou kai ka hau. Hoki mai, hoki mai, hoki mai.
Today's journey is significant because Takahi have come from some pretty dark times. They were
She looks like an actress.
She does look
She
like
looks
someone.
like Avril Lavigne?
we are today.
No.
No, but she looks like someone. I can't. I think I know who it is.
Oh, that is such an edible bird right there. It's like
It
a
does.
puffin.
It is a.
Who do you think it is?
I think she looks a little bit like that Ruby Frankie from 8 Passengers.
That's not who I was initially
okay.
thinking.
Takahi have come from some pretty dark times.
Oh,
They were thought to be extinct
A picture of us popped up on Tuka's
30
stream.
years ago, they were thought to be extinct, and here we are today, releasing
A
Takahi
picture of both of you
birds
topped up on.
officially.
Oh,
Journey from He Manu Ngaro he manu tūmanako.
Oh, the one where I'm in the stupid thing.
A part and parcel.
I hope he was
That's
saying
funny.
great things about us.
I think it's a picture of me wearing that Afghan around my head.
To maintain them. in the
This man was the last one to see one alive before World War II. I'm just kidding. I don't know. Those are walking meat.
They think you're called the Claw Dogs.
Them claw dogs. Yeah, that's the claw dogs is an old them claw dogs. That's lore, channel lore. Yeah, you guys, some channel lore.
Yeah, channel lore, the Claw Dogs.
Jinjee. In the first pic, they look huge in the first pic. Honestly, they look like puffins or chickens. Like, just the reason they probably went extinct is because people were like, I could eat that.
Yeah, oh, it's a running butterball.
I could Kentucky Fried Chicken that.
It's like when we see the spruce grouse every winter. I see them and I'm like, God damn, that bird is cute, but it also looks like it would be really tasty.
Yeah, like you, Jinjee.
Yeah.
You be tasty.
I could roast it in the oven
We could eat your brains.
and make a nice glaze out of Saskatoon berries and some sage. And what a beautiful Saskatchewan meal that would be. Yes, you're so sweet. You're so sweet.
dun,
You're
dun,
just the sweetest.
dun,
you're the
dun, dun,
sweetest.
dun,
Yeah.
dun.
Oh, you're so sweet. Are you the sweetest?
Can you see himself? Did he know? I think he can see lasers coming out of the camera or
Oh,
something.
I know.
Because he always looks
I
at it.
think he just. He's like, what this?
Don't take my picture from that angle. It gives me
Oh.
chins.
Oh, I'm a sweet boy.
It gives me multiple chins.
You want to pinch his cheeks?
Can you pinch?
Yeah, he has no cheeks to pinch. He's a cat. Inferred. Infrared. Infrared. Oh, yeah, buddy. Boopy boop. Boopy 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 boop.
Freaking booposaurus.
It's not even a boop. It's just like it's a long smooshy boop. Long smoosh.
That's enough, Mom.
Okay.
I'll find some cheeks. Some butt cheeks?
Lord Jinjee of Moose Jaw, protector of the tiny house, first of his name.
Protector of Le Gingers, Maxis.
Oh, enjoy your meetings.
Enjoy your meeting, deadweight. We are going to probably run into town and
Have to get some sawdust.
get some sawdust because
My mother's coming out this week, so we need sawdust for her to poop on.
and I'll get some water and we'll do a couple things. Chat at you guys later. Yeah, you take care. If you guys want to hang out on Discord, you come over and hang out on
You
Discord.
come to that Discord there, bud.
Yeah, we got things on Discord
Yeah.
where we Discord.
The shed.
If you're not on Discord, you let me know.
You be a shed head with us.
Jinjee.
Look how cute Jinjee is.
You guys streaming tomorrow? We should be.
Yeah.
We don't have any particular plans. We're going to get some stuff ready, and tomorrow's supposed to be relaxation. So unless I wake up feeling shittier than normal shit.
'Cause I believe my mom's coming out on Thursday, the 14th. She had originally asked coming out for like the 13th, which was Wednesday, till Sunday. And I said the 14th would work better for us. And so I do believe that is the day she's coming out. But we will
What are you looking
might
at?
we might stream in the morning while she's driving still. So.
Oh, can't show cat balls. Hey guys. Mustache cam. This is when I have a question for you, we're going to call this the mustache you a question cam. I'm sorry. I didn't comb it.
Mustache you a question.
So I'm going to mustache you a question.
He's been a really messy eater. I kind of need to clean some food up.
Well, I build this rope. Fuck yeah.
How you do that? It's how we get bugs.
Ginger Frank Zappa ass. What? They almost seen the back of my throat. At least I didn't feel it. Just kidding. Okay. You guys, keep it sleazy. If it's sleazy, take it twice. I'm just
Keep
kidding.
it sleazy. Keep it easy.
And
keep it
cheesy.
breezy.
Cheesy.
Beautiful cover girl.
Keep it cheesy. We're on the magic guac guac bus. Guac guac. See you guys. Have a great day. Take care of your underwear.
Make good choices.
Don't do anything the good Lord wouldn't do.
Don't do anything we wouldn't do. So that gives you quite a few options.
Don't do anything the good Lord wouldn't do.
And remember, other people's religion prohibits them from doing things, not from you from doing things.
Yeah, fill up these nuts.
Yeah.
Woo! I'm just kidding. Baby. I keep it in no instead.